Hey, my fellow multidimensionals, it's Aisha Love, founder of Multidimensional You. I am back full spiral at a town I spent a lot of time in, spent a lot of community development in, built nonprofits, and it's a delight to be back here on my way on this beautiful central Idaho, southern Montana tour with my compliment Jonathan. I look forward to doing a video with him soon and bringing that to the channel. I'm on the Lemhi River. You can probably hear it. And here we have a pathway that spoke to me as I walked through it. And there is some message that wants to come through as part of the Activating the Healer Within series. So here we are, and we're going to see what wants to come through. So many of the questions I get revolve around the theme of, how do I know which path to take? How do I know which decision is the right one? How do I know what choice to make? And what I was shown as I was walking along earlier was this little file that dropped in. And it's much like this beautiful riparian area I'm in. There are many different trails, and some go along the river and some go closer to the main field. They all eventually converge. You can't mess up your life, because life in and of itself is an exploration of when a soul comes in and brings its consciousness into dense physical matter and a particular physical form. This happens to be the human being form. Other planets, it's different forms. And this one is very much centered around mastering emotions, exploring emotions, and can you remember that you're loved while you're here? Now, that isn't everybody's role, but it is the healer's role. Some people are coming to have a full-blown lost in the density experience. For healers, you all are meant to remember that you came from love and were always love, and that you were always whole. And so that greater remembering is what's coming now through many of us in service to shifting octaves, if you will, in this particular time-space reality. It's not for everyone, and it's not our place to impose that on everyone, but that's what many of us are here for. And so to answer the countless questions I get about, I don't have clarity. How do I get clarity? What's the path? What's the right path? The message coming through right now so strongly, I can feel it, is enjoy and embrace the path you're on right now. Show up and be extremely present for the path you happen to be walking right now. So often we're looking back, mostly looking forward, what's further ahead on the path. And what I'm being told unequivocally is that, and I'm listening myself, is that if all of us can just be really present with each next step, it will be very, very clear what is aligned and what is not. But when we're not present for where we are right now and we're kind of jumping ahead, we're missing, first of all, the joy and the experience of being where we are right now. And I'm being told that that is the key to unlocking and aligning with your heart's desires, which would be your soul's plan. And for healers, that means being in service from within our most authentic truth, meaning we're not self-censoring, hiding, self-rejecting, self-victimizing. And it means being able to do that without self-censoring, without holding back, just from the sheer joy of giving from our heart. And so that's where you find me, is absolutely being placed or placing myself in a situation in which I cannot see what's around the bend. And that's by design, so that I really have begun to retrain myself to be right here, right now. And if you told me when I lived in Salmon, Idaho, where I am right now, that I would have lived the kind of life I've lived over the last 5 to 10 years, because I left here in 2011, no way. There's no way I could not have seen that from where I was when I left this place and who I've become and allowed myself to remember. So that's what's so beautiful about the second trip through here in just a few months, is this full spiral, is to come back to the places we were, but as a very different version, a different embodiment. In a lot of ways, I can enjoy so much more about this place, because when I was here, I was very much in an identity construct, right? I didn't go by Aisha or Asia then. I went by Adrian, which was my birth name. And very much in a third dimensional role and a character, without that greater awareness of oh, wait a minute, there's something more to reality that meets the eye. There might be this multi-dimensional reality. And it was my father who passed away in 2009. That when he did, and then he started coming to visit me, that just cracked everything wide open. So it's a really fascinating place to come and share these messages that want to come through this channel for you all, answer some of the questions you've been having. And in the context of me reflecting on how my path took a huge left turn almost 15 years ago that I didn't see coming and that I had to accommodate. And so a lot of what I do on this channel is just try to share what I've learned from walking the path, maybe a few steps ahead of you is all. Just being like, woo, if I could do it over again, here's what I would tell you. I would tell myself. It's exactly what's coming through this message today is just enjoy the walk more. Stop trying to figure it all out. Be present for it. Even if you make a slight different choice, like eventually the paths all come and, like a river, the confluence comes back together. So just really focus on enjoying the path you're on as much as possible. That is the biggest message in answer to this question I get all the time of how do I know which is the right choice? There really is no right or wrong. There's just experience. But by listening carefully with each step that you're taking, by being in the present moment, ironically, paradoxically, you will make a more aligned choice. And I think that's what most people are asking me when they ask, is this the right choice? Is it in alignment with what I really wanted to do in this lifetime? Experience, explore, offer the world. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you enjoy the scenes from here. And yeah, just get really present and available for what is. This story wants to come through. I was at Jackson Hot Springs last night with Jonathan, and we were having a lovely dinner, and I could tell a young man, a skier, who was up at Lost Trail, but quite the skier, quite the competitive skier, was wanting to connect. And make a long story short, he kind of blew my socks off after we kind of gave him, I could tell what was the promptings his, spirit team was trying to get through, when this group of young guys, skiers, asked us what we do, and asked me what I do. And I answered with metaphysician and intergalactic shaman, kind of some terms I thought might intrigue them. And immediately they perked up, and the one guy's talking about we need shamanism in the frat house and gratitude. And I'm kind of like, what is going on? This next generation is amazing. And then the original young guy starts talking about his trip on DMT, I think, and how he punched through a whole bunch of different dimensions, ended up interacting with beings who said, what are you doing here? You really shouldn't be here. You have a human life that's like really valuable and precious. You should really go just focus on making the most of that. And I just started laughing. He validated like all of my multidimensional messages in a very short amount of time. So it was a beautiful gift back to me. But it was also in the spirit of the same message that's wanting to come through is these lives go really fast. My dad has been on me about this. Enjoy yourself. It goes faster than you think. So focus less. Here's the summary statement, I think, for all of us. Let's focus less on trying to get it right, and let's focus more on enjoying where we happen to be. And again, paradoxically, by doing that, you'll shift your vibrational coordinates and you'll come into ever greater alignment. And not to mention the net benefit is just greater enjoyment and happiness along the way. Just a thought, right? Just a thought. All right. Well, I love you all so much. Leave me a comment that will help this message reach more people who are trying to find their way, not realizing that they are the way. There really is no path. You are the way. And keep this conversation going, because many of you are having very similar ahas, experiences, and insights. And everyone here on this channel, myself obviously included, really appreciate your reflections. So I love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't try to get it right. Just enjoy the walk. Bye. Walk back and exist. I'm at the Sacagawea Center. Okay. And Jonathan's filming down the trail.